just training. Hold on, I need to sit down. The pump in my ass is amazing right now. Today, I'm going to talk about rest periods between sets. So there's seems to be these both sides of the coin where, you know, some people say you gotta, for the purposes of bodybuilding, you're supposed to rest shorter periods between sets, and then for the purposes of strength training, powerlifting, weightlifting, you're supposed to rest longer between sets. So which one is it? Well, it's neither one or the other. See, the rest periods come down to a couple of different reasons. The reason why people used to always say you should rest shorter between sets has been traditionally because of the old school bodybuilding sort of traditions, and also because it's been shown and been proven that shorter rest periods leads to the release of certain hormonal reactions and the signalings within the body that causes an upregulation of growth factors, which is true. It's correct. It does happen. So people take that and go on to rest for short periods, 30 seconds, a minute and a half at most maybe, and they go again. And the other side of the equation is for, you know, for powerlifting, for weightlifting, things like that. If you have a heavy deadlift or a heavy squat, there's no way you can rest just a minute and a half and go again and be able to produce performance again. So you typically see people who are doing powerlifting, weightlifting, they rest for 3, 4, 5, even up to 10 minutes between really heavy sets, and that's how it's supposed to be. But as far as, let's just go with the purpose of building muscle. Which one should you do? Should you rest more or should you rest less? For muscle building, although it is true that resting less releases and triggers certain reactions within the body that upregulates growth factors, the other thing that people, I guess, tend to overlook is that if you don't rest enough, then you're going to have to drop the weight that you're going to be doing in your next set and the set after. So if you do, for example, if you need to do 3 sets of 10 with 100 kilos on the bench press, on the first set you do 100 kilos for 10 reps, no problem. On the next set you only rested 45 seconds or a minute and you're trying to go for 10 reps again, you may fall short of that 100 kilos. You may only get 8 and that's it. So now you've missed out on 2 reps. 2 times 100 is 200 kilos. That's 200 kilos of volume you've just missed out on. And one of the most important factors for growth, for building muscle, as well as strength, is the amount of volume that you can handle, the amount of volume that you do in your training over the period of the session, of the period of the week, of the month, and of the year and years. So if you are constantly sacrificing volume in favor of shortening the rest period, just because you think it's going to improve the growth factors and things like that, you're not really getting the best of both worlds. So what's the answer? Should you rest a lot or should you rest less? See, if you rest too long for hypertrophy, if you rest, say, for example, 5 minutes in between sets, there's no problem. You'll still get the same results, studies have shown. But when you apply that to the real world, any person out there is only enthused and ready to train for a finite period of time. You can't train for 4 hours back to back and just take, 10-15 minute rest periods between sets. That's mental. That's just not going to happen, right? It's not practical. So at the same time, you don't want to sacrifice any volume by resting too little. So you just need to find a common ground. I say, like the way we do it here, is if you're doing anything from like 8 to 12, 15 reps, anything up to 2 minutes is enough. 2 minutes, you should be ready to go. Any more than that, you're screwing around. You're probably wasting time. You don't need to rest any more than that. You can still go back to your set with the same weight and be able to reproduce the same reps that you need to be doing. Whereas as things get heavier, so anything with 5, 6 reps and under, then you're starting to go definitely past the 3 minute mark. 3 minutes plus, averaging at about probably 5 minutes. If it's really heavy, probably like 8 minutes, even up to 10 minutes for the really strong, experienced big lifters. So that's just how we do it here at Adonis Athletics, and that seems to be the good common ground, the middle ground, where people can make the progress that they need to be making in regards to the goal that they have for their program and for that session. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll have about 17 more sets of that to do. I'll catch you guys later.
2 years now, and slowly over time, as we've grown, we've brought in obviously more equipment, update the gym, change the layout. So let's get to it.